force, we are going forward. By fire, by force, we are going higher. By fire, by force, we are going forward. By fire, by force, we are going higher. By fire, by force, we are going forward. By fire, by force, we are going higher. By fire, by force, we are going forward. By fire, by force, we are going higher. By fire, by force, we are going forward. By fire, by force, we are going higher. By fire, by force, we are going forward. By fire, by force, we are going higher.
Seigneur, tu t'approches de ceux qui s'approchent de toi. Je viens auprès de toi, je viens devant ton trône pour te donner mon cœur. Fais de moi ce que tu voudras. Je viens auprès de toi, je viens devant ton trône pour te donner mon cœur. Fais de moi ce que tu voudras.
Car tu es Dieu, tu es Dieu,
Car tu es Dieu,
car tu es Dieu, tu es Dieu tout-puissant.
je viens
Auprès de toi,
fais de moi,
fais-de-moi ce que tu voudras.
car tu es Dieu, car tu es Dieu,
Tu es Dieu, car tu es Dieu,
tu es Dieu tout-puissant.
je viens auprès de toi,
Fais de moi,
fais-de-moi ce que tu voudras.
j'ai entendu dire, tu guéris les malades. J'ai entendu dire, tu changes les situations. J'ai entendu dire, tu brises toutes les chaînes. Me voici devant toi.
Mon cœur t'adore,
Mon cœur t'adore, mon cœur t'élève,
mon cœur t'adore, Jésus.
je viens, fais de moi,
Fais-de-moi ce que tu voudras.
mon cœur t'adore, oui mon cœur t'élève, mon cœur t'élève, mon cœur t'adore, comme Anna je viens, fais de moi.
Fais-de-moi ce que tu voudras.
J'ai entendu dire, tu guéris les aveugles. J'ai entendu dire, tu bénis les orphelins. J'ai entendu dire, tu brises les montagnes. Me voici devant toi. Mon cœur, oui mon cœur t'adore, mon cœur t'élève, comme Bartimée je viens, je me prosterne devant toi. Mon cœur t'adore. captive. J'ai entendu dire, tu opères par le feu. J'ai entendu dire, tu es le chemin, la vie, la vérité. Me voici devant toi, Yahweh.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Talk to Me with Pastor Rose Bijoux Ramires. It's another wonderful session. I always say Talk to Me is with a show that brings you real people with real issues, real life experiences. So in the words of Kofi Annan, I always say that knowledge is power. So we come to be informed so that we will in turn learn to know how to pass on the information, because without knowledge, as the Bible says, my people perish. So knowledge will give you information that will enable you to navigate life and help people. So here we are. It's Talk to Me, Pastor Rose Bijoux Ramires, and I'd like you to use your finger and just go on Facebook, go on YouTube, begin to share. Tell your friends and family, Pastor Rose Bijoux Ramires is connected right now with Talk to Me. And I want you to help me pass on the good message, the good information to your friends and family. Why not also like and share? Because the only way we will pass on the good news and the good information is if you help me share the good news. And so today, we are talking about a topic that I know is informative as always, but it's something that maybe people do not pay attention to a lot, or neglect, or are just not aware of. We will be talking about the importance of education and integration. As I said earlier on the show, I bring topics that people shy away from in order to give us information. I earlier quoted Kofi Annan, who is the late UN Secretary General. He said, knowledge is power. And then he added, information is liberating, because if you have the information, you are definitely set free. And one thing he mentioned was that education is the premise of progress in every society or family. So if people are educated, they will know how to progress into positivity in life. I'm going to be bilingual. I'm going to be French as well as English speaking. There goes my French skill today. Oh my goodness. Because my guest requested this of me. Je disais que c'est notre émission de Talk to Me. Aujourd'hui, nous parlons de l'importance de l'intégration et l'éducation. Parce que dans les pays de diaspora, il y a beaucoup de gens peut-être qui ne connaissent pas trop de choses à propos de le système d'éducation. Et je disais en anglais que Kofi Annan disait souvent que la connaissance, ça nous donne la puissance, le pouvoir, parce que quand on a la connaissance, nous saurons comment naviguer la vie. Et il a aussi dit que quand on a l'information, nous sommes des gens qui sont un peu libérés, des gens qui sont affranchis. L'éducation, c'est la base du progrès dans la société et dans les familles. Alors aujourd'hui, je veux... I really want you to share. If you don't share, people will not be able to get the information that you and me, that I have to give you today. So without further ado, I am going to invite my guest of today. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm all right. Thank you very much.
So welcome to Talk to Me.
Thank you.
And you will be talking to me a lot today. So without further ado, that's your camera over there. If you can just tell the audience your name and what it is that you do and what brings you to talk to me.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. People call me Mama Mimi. I'm MINOKA LUMAKANGILU, ne Ndondoboni. That's why you see my name is mixed, like MINOKA, Mimi, Ndondoboni. It's like different people know me with different names as I was young and now. Okay, I'm a DET teacher. In my school, I do teach art and French as well, and ethics. So I go first 4 subjects that I do teach in my school. So the reason I came here, the problematic started when most French people ask, they are confused, they don't know how the education is organized here in the UK. They have children as they grow up, they just learn how the school goes. So it's more French people, because the people who come from English country, they know a little bit how education is organized here in the UK. But the one come from French countries is like very different to here. So they always have a phone call a lot asking me how that is organized, what can we do? And then they don't know how to guide the children in the house because they are confused. They don't know how things goes. And then that's one, like we said, knowledge, the power is really important to share that. So we did have that idea to share this with people because by the grace of the Lord, we are teachers here in this country. So I think it was a good way to share and for people to know. Yeah.
So you've come to talk to us about the importance of education, but you're going to focus more on the diaspora people, the people from the French-speaking countries who've come into the UK and talk about integration. So as I said, we'll be a bit more bilingual. So briefly, do you want to just quickly say what you just told us in French, what it is that you do and what brings you just quickly in French? Then we're going to continue.
Thank you very much. Merci. So mon nom est, dans la communauté, on m'appelle Maman Mimi, mais c'est MINOKA LUMAKANGILU. Je suis née Ndondoboni. Donc, je suis professeur de design and technology, DET, on appelle ça technologie en français. Et j'enseigne aussi art visuel, j'enseigne le français cette année et j'enseigne aussi l'éthique. So, oui, je travaille dans l'enseignement depuis plusieurs années. J'ai commencé dans l'enseignement au collège d'abord, et puis après, il fallait faire encore une formation pour être enseignante, professeur à l'école secondaire. Donc, je suis là et je travaille là dans une école de la ville, à côté de chez moi, d'où je viens.
OK. Welcome to Talk to Me.
Merci.
So I'm going to be navigating through questions that people ask me to, because I also came into this country and had to adjust to the education system here. And I had to be taught and be guided as to what to do. So I'm going to be asking my dear sister Mimi, who's a teacher, I'm going to ask her, I'm going to call her, how do you call each other? Did you say Mrs.?
They do call me Mrs. LUMAKANGILU.
Okay, I'm going to talk to Mrs.
LUMAKANGILU.
LUMAKANGILU.
Oui.
I'm going to be talking to Mrs. LUMAKANGILU here. I'm going to be asking her questions as people don't understand a lot. So I'm going to be interviewing you like a teacher, kind of, like a journalist a little bit. So what is the difference between the education system in the Congo and the education system here? Because I remember sometimes when I talk to Congolese people, they'll say, je suis diplômée, you know, and I remember being really confused, thinking diplômé, when you saying I've got a diploma, it meant that somebody who has been to university and have got a diploma in a higher education, sort of, you know, university. And then I would later find out they have a diploma, but they did a year 12. So it kind of really confused me because people would be boldly talking about, I've got a diploma, but they've never been to university. So that kind of confused me a little bit because I studied here. So I want you to explain to me, what is the difference in the education system in the Congo? When people say, je suis diplômé, I have a diploma, what does it actually mean? If you can explain it a little bit to us.
Merci beaucoup pour la question. I'll start in English first. There is an organization that help people to find the equivalency called if you want to know more, you call NARIC. It will help you translate your diploma, your certificates to the one in equivalency to the English one, so you can be able to progress or you can be able to use them. We all know education in most countries. It's primary education, secondary education, and if you are successful, you want to go to university, you can go to university. Right. Many people are mistaken because they do think diplôme d'état is year 13, but it's not. Diplôme d'état, if you send your document to NARIC, diplôme d'état is equivalent to GCSE. If you did have diplôme d'état, you can't progress straight away to university in the UK. You have to find the equivalency and you have to go to year 12 and 13 or go to college. If you are too old, they can't get you because year 12 and 13 is from up to 18, 16 to 18 about. So you can't go to A level. You probably go do the level 3 in college. And then after finish the 2 years in college, and you can be able to progress at university. Unfortunately, some people will be a little bit deceived to know that the diplôme d'état is equivalent to GCSE, year 11. So that's the equivalency.
So when people say, I have a diploma, je suis diplômé, they actually mean they finished high school.
They finished the high school.
Okay.
They finished the high school, that's it. Yeah, that's the equivalency. So, j'ai expliqué que donc, le diplôme d'État, quand vous allez dans l'organisation qui s'appelle NARIC, vous envoyez vos diplômes et ces diplômes, on lui donne l'équivalent de l'examen de Year 11, GCSE. Alors, si vous... C'est un peu décevant parce que vous allez dire j'ai fait beaucoup d'années et puis c'est seulement les GCSE. Mais c'est comme ça qu'ils ont fait leur équivalent et ils pensent que les diplômes d'État est l'équivalent des GCSE.
D'accord. So in the UK, can you talk us through the stages, okay, of education? So starting from primary school, out right to secondary. So if you want to respond in French, it's fine. I'll just say it in English later.
That's fine. I think that one is important for me to answer that in French because that is really important.
Yeah,
so, l'école secondaire ici en Angleterre, ça s'organise de cette façon. Nous savons qu'à 2 ans et 9 mois, l'enfant peut aller déjà à playgroup pour assister, pour s'apprêter à l'école primaire. L'école primaire, les enfants de 4 ans commencent déjà l'école primaire ici en Angleterre. Et ils vont de 4 ans à 10 ans, jusque toute l'école primaire, c'est reception until year 6. C'est 7 ans. Alors, on a les key stages. Il y a key stage 1, ça commence à partir de la réception, year 1 et year 2. Key stage 2, ça commence à partir de year 3, year 4, 5 and 6. Après, quand vous terminez year 6, il y a leurs examens qui font les SAT pour progresser. Et ça vient year 7, qui est secondary school. L'équivalent de secondary school, mais n'oublions pas qu'eux, ils ont déjà fait 7 ans et ils ont commencé un peu plus tôt, un peu avant. Donc, l'école secondaire, ça commence de year 7 à year 11. Ça, c'est l'école secondaire obligatoire. Alors, ça veut dire que year 7, 8 et 9, c'est l'équivalent à Key Stage 3. À partir de year 9, l'enfant va choisir les options de GCSE, qui sera pour year 10 et year 11.
Alors, GCSE, c'est équivalent de quoi là-bas au Congo, précisément?
Au GCSE, c'est l'équivalent de l'examen d'État.
Examen d'État qui est year 12 chez nous là-bas au Congo.
Au Congo, chez nous, c'est l'examen d'État, mais ici, c'est year 11. Ce n'est même pas 12, c'est year 11. So, quand vous avez...
GCSE, c'est year 10.
Ça commence à year 10, ça finit à year 11. Donc, c'est comme 2 ans quand vous faites vos options des GCSE. So, pendant ces 2 ans-là, vous allez vous préparer à des cours que vous avez choisis, des options que vous avez choisies, et vous allez faire les examens. Et si vous les passez, c'est très important de savoir, GCSE, c'est Key Stage 4. Tous les enfants ne sont pas obligés d'aller à Key Stage 5. Ça, c'est A-level.
Voilà.
So, A-level, c'est quand même higher. Et chez nous, c'est l'équivalent de l'Institut supérieur. Les 3 ans de l'Institut supérieur, ça veut dire c'est les A-level. On donne ça à NARIC, appelle ça GCE. So, c'est comme... l'équivalent de A-level, l'Institut supérieur de ZA.
Alors, l'Institut supérieur au Congo, c'est équivalent à l'université ou au collège?
Au Congo, nous disons que c'est l'université. Nous disons que c'est l'université parce qu'on commence la première gradua, la deuxième gradua et la troisième gradua. Malheureusement, en Angleterre, on te fait descendre, on te donne l'équivalent de A-level. Comme chez nous, c'est les enfants de 16 à 18 ans qui font les A-level. L'Institut supérieur, on te donnera cet équivalent des A-level. Alors, A-level, ce n'est pas tout le monde qui les font. Certaines personnes préfèrent faire le collège que les A-level parce que A-level, c'est des sujets beaucoup plus... beaucoup de sujets à étudier. Il y a quand même des B-Tech là aussi, mais c'est beaucoup plus un peu bien structuré. Collège, c'est beaucoup plus vocationnel, les sujets vocationnels. Et ce n'est pas mauvais de choisir le collège. Ça dépend des skills, ça dépend de votre habilité, ça dépend de l'enfant, ça dépend aussi de son choix aussi.
Si je comprends bien, excusez-moi, c'est comme si en Afrique, au Congo précisément, les enfants sont un peu en retard avec leur étude parce que si tu as fait 3 ans à l'Institut supérieur, ici, chez nous, c'est équivalent de A-level, qui n'est pas encore l'université. Alors, quand tu viens ici, c'est comme si tu es en 3 ans de retard. Parce que quelqu'un qui a fait A-level ici, l'Institut supérieur chez nous, c'est déjà l'université. À l'âge de 21 ans, un enfant finit déjà avec l'université. Alors, à l'âge de 21 ans, quelqu'un au Congo finit l'Institut supérieur, qui n'est pas encore l'université chez nous. Alors, c'est comme si l'éducation, les systèmes d'éducation au Congo fait reculer un peu les gens et nous donne un peu de retard avec l'éducation, non?
Ça fait reculer. Unfortunately, c'est le système. Et c'est comme ça, on ne peut pas les changer. C'est le système. Ils ont décidé sur base de quoi? Je suis sûre qu'ils ont fait beaucoup de recherches, qu'ils ont regardé. C'est quelque chose qu'on a trouvé et ça restera comme ça. Quand vous avez fait l'Institut supérieur, unfortunately, vous venez ici, c'est les A-level et vous ne pouvez pas progresser directement à l'université. Vous pouvez, peut-être, si on fait l'équivalent de vos diplômes, on va voir si on peut vous offrir l'université directement. Parfois même, on complique aussi. Et on vous oblige de faire encore les GCSE, l'anglais. Ça, c'est déjà obligatoire. On vous oblige de faire les GCSE anglais et maths, même si vous avez ces qualifications. À part si vous avez l'Institut supérieur qualification, le maths, on peut voir si on peut arranger que vous avez les... Mais généralement, on complique pour continuer. On vous dit de faire encore ces examens de GCSE, French, English and Math.
You're watching Talk to Me. I told you I'm going to be a bit bilingual. Today I'm bringing out all my French skills here. So if you're watching on YouTube, go and share and like and invite somebody. Today you're going to hear me in English and French. Wow. We're talking about the importance of integration and education, predominantly in the Congolese community, in the Franco cultural people, we see that people find it a bit hard to understand and adjust in the education system. So I brought, I'm calling her Mrs. I know I'm used to calling her Mimi, but
yes, exactly.
today it's Mrs. LUMAKANGILU.
Yes.
Yes, LUMAKANGILU, I'm calling her today. I brought her to just enlighten us on some points. So the system here is, in the UK, you do your key stages, and then once you get to your secondary school, after secondary school, you've done your GCSEs, between year 10 and year 11, then you're allowed to choose year 12 and year 13 equivalent, your AS and your A levels. So AS and A2 levels, which is 2 years. And then when you qualify with that, you get your grades, which then takes you to university. Now, the explanation I'm getting here, which I am flabbergasted about, it just made me understand that, I don't know, I can't be corrected wrongly because I have got someone who knows the system next to me. What I understand based on the topic today is that the people in the Congo tend to be a little bit more delayed in terms of the higher education system than we are in the UK. Because the explanation that we've gotten tonight is that after year 10, they go to what we call a higher education level, where they do 3 years, which is, to them, it's like going to college or university. But when you match it with the education system of the UK, the whole 3 years that they've done in the so-called university level in the Congo is classed as our AS and A2 levels. So if they came in the UK, they will go backwards. So whereas in the UK, a 17-and-a-half-year-old would go to university by the age of 21, they finished university. If they came from the Congo, that same 21-year-old would only have finished A-levels at the age of 21 and then starting university, which I find a little bit backwards. It delays us a little bit. So I just want you to kind of make me understand with yourself first, when you came to the UK, tell us your journey with all the education system, the education you had in the Congo, and then you came here, learning a new language, the new education system, and becoming a teacher. How was it for you? Because somebody watching this thinking, oh, I am 35, I've just arrived in this country, I want to become a teacher, it's going to be difficult for me, so yeah.
Thank you very much for the question. I came in this country, I was already an adult. I was a mom already. So in Congo, I finished my primary, my secondary school. I went up to Institut Supérieur des Arts et Métiers. For me, it was a university as well. I finished the 3 years. I received the skill, a lot of skills, because I was like a fashion designer. I can't compare. And I know that I received a lot of things. I learned so much. I did like haute couture up to now. The skills I did get there, I'm really happy to have them, and I use them in here.
So when I suppose, Institut Supérieur, you do all these topics?
Yeah,
you do all these subjects together?
Yeah, that's the things. Institut Supérieur des Arts et Métiers. It was Institut Supérieur des Arts et Métiers, ISAM. So there it was a fashion design only. So we have to do pattern. We do a lot more than here because we do a lot. And that they give us skills.
A lot of subjects.
A lot of subjects. A lot of subjects. You really like go to it. You do a lot of subjects. So when I came in UK, before I came in the UK, I was somewhere. I did the theology, but that is not relevant to here. I did the theology in one country. That is not relevant to here. And then when I came to UK, my Institut Supérieur des Arts et Métiers wasn't recognized at all. It was like, if I have to carry on, I have to do in college level 3, which is equivalent to the 16 to 18 years old or adults, mature adults from 24 years, something like that. But before progressing, it was like something I have to do. I didn't have choice to do the level 3 of designing. I did that level 3. And then when I finished the level 3, I did have distinction because my teacher was like, oh, you know all these skills, but because it's not recognized here, you have to do it. I didn't have choice to do it. I did it, and then I was able to carry on at the university here in the UK.
So you had to do university here.
I have to
Whatever
do-
you did there was
Yeah.
not classed as university
I
level at
have
all.
to do again university in the UK here. The 3 years, I have to do them. I didn't have choice because my vision was to go a little bit more. I wanted to go because when I finished in Congo, as I did have good grades, they accepted me to be assistant, a teacher in the school where I finished.
Okay.
But as is not recognized here, I have to do that again. So when I finished university, I did because I worked already in adult education, helping people to do sewing classes, you know, for many years. I did adult education qualification first to be able to carry on what I was doing.
Teaching adults.
Teaching adults. So I did that. I enjoy teaching adults as well. However, when I decided to do a school, to be a school teacher, there, you can't imagine, you have to do another qualification called PGCE. That PGCE, to teach a student, like a secondary school, you have to do that. In college, you can do the something, it's a little bit equivalent, you don't have the qualified teacher status. But for the secondary school, you have to do PGCE and the qualified teacher status. So I have to do that very hard because I'm a French speaker, and then I'm a mom. I was a mom and a servant of God, and then a lot of responsibility. But I say I did have like an objective. I will do that. And then I met my husband. Is like someone who likes study as well.
Yeah.
He likes you to thrive.
Yes,
So he was like
you,
pushing me. Do it. His support was so great to me and then allowed me to carry on because with the kids, with the family, with the work, it won't be possible for me to carry on.
Yeah.
So when I finished this PGC, so I was taken straight away to the school. The harder things as well, I am a French speaker. My English will never be like children from here, never, because I came here after 20. So will never be. I was like, how am I going to do that? But when I was waiting, my children were small, I was learning English. Most of my English, I learned it from home. Can you imagine? I was like, my children are watching CBBC. I'm a Mr. Tambo watching that. And then writing down, I make myself an objective of learning 10 words every day.
You were determined.
In a deep, I was determined I would do it.
10 words every day.
Every day. The meaning, I was in my dictionary. One day watching TV, I was there writing down the meaning of words, practicing it, and it was like a hard work, but by God's grace, I would say, and then we managed to do that, and we finished and taken straight away to education. And imagine now for African teacher in the UK, we are just 0.1%
of the Congolese.
Teach African.
Okay, sorry. There is 0.1% of African background teachers, people from Africa who've become teachers in the UK.
Yeah.
Just stop it there for a minute. We have to talk about this. So you're watching Talk to Me. If you haven't shared yet, I want you to share. If you have not liked, I want you to like, because we are trying to change the future. Sometimes when we come to the European countries, when I was younger, I heard people talk about getting rich, coming to Europe, getting rich, but to send cars and buy clothes. And when I was young, I didn't hear people saying, I've gone to university, I've gone to Europe to study. I'm talking about the Congolese, Angolan background. It wasn't, I've gone to Europe to study. It was, I've gone to Europe to get rich, get a nice car. But nobody actually explained the process of becoming rich. So everybody that came to the diaspora, they had the mentality of learning to dress well, dressing expensive, but not really having this understanding of the ability to study. So we need to know, watch this so you can get this information to understand it's important to get educated. It's very important because we want to change the narrative that Congolese people aren't just about la sap and music, but they are also people who can sit in parliaments even in Europe. So she was a foreigner who came here, got taught, and is now imparting on the message. 0.1% of the Africans are actually a part of teachers. That is very little. At least in the nursing in nursing field, there's quite a few of us.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's so few teachers from the African countries who have now become teachers in Europe or in England specifically?
Thank you very much for that question.
Tu peux répondre en français si tu veux.
D'accord, that's fine. On va mélanger. To be through the PGCE, it's hard. Hard work, determination. You need to want to do it. The placement, the mentor, the subject. You need to do the essays level 7, so master level. You have to do it to be successful. So, we know that some countries, like other teachers, they are from maybe Nigeria, ils sont from Kenya, they are English speaking. It's a little bit easier for them, but I'm telling you, a lot of them, they can't carry on in the middle. There are a lot of people, many teachers. At the beginning, if you go to teacher training, there are a lot of Africans coming, but at the middle, they drop one. I remember when my husband did it, they dropped. One left only, it was him. When I did it, they dropped. I finished, the only one finished it. So it's really hard. I think the motivation as well came from my dad's as well, apart of my husband. My dad was in Europe 1979 to do his PhD. And then I was in environments when he was already encouraging me to go a little bit far. That's why I just want to call people to ask us, Congolese people, bien-aimés dans le Seigneur, préparez l'environnement pour vos enfants. Because what you prepare, what the children see, is what motivates them. So I was already motivated as a young person because I knew 1979, I was young, up to 1987, my dad was in Europe, coming a little bit to do his PhD. So for me, my dad, professor of university, he was a role model for me.
Was a motivating
Please be a role model for the person you live with.
Yeah.
And you see how it can affect their future as well. People do ignore that. So I just want to say I did have motivation for the environment where I come from as well. The Lord makes me meet someone who likes school as well. So he works together to my advantage, really.
You're watching Talk to Me. Thank you very, very much. Great information there. J'ai posé la question, pourquoi il n'y a que 0,1% pourcentage des enseignants ici en Angleterre qui sont de l'African background? Ça veut dire qu'il y a plus de Blancs et
2% des Indiens.
2% des Indiens, et il n'y a pas trop vraiment des Africains. Ce n'est pas seulement des Congolais. Les Africains en général, il n'y a que 0,1% pourcentage de professeurs ici. C'est parce que Madame Mimi vient nous expliquer, c'est parce que c'est tellement difficile d'étudier, de devenir professeur ici, enseignant ici en Angleterre. Alors, elle vient de dire que en restant dans un environnement qui encourageait l'éducation dans sa maison, avec leurs parents, avec le père, c'est ce qui l'a encouragé, l'a motivé vraiment d'étudier, même si c'était difficile. Au début, j'avais dit que la connaissance, c'est vraiment un pouvoir qu'on a. Quand tu as la connaissance, tu es comme quelqu'un qui est libéré. Alors, c'est important, quand vous voyez cette vidéo ici, de vous encourager qu'il n'est jamais trop tard. Même si l'éducation, le système d'éducation, c'est quelque chose que vous ne comprenez pas trop, essayez un peu de comprendre. Mais non, madame, est-ce que, madame Mimi, vous pouvez nous expliquer quelle est la différence avec les sujets, on dit sujets, subjects?
Les subjects, yeah.
Qu'on peut choisir pour faire le GCSE. Pour vous, là-bas, à l'Institut supérieur, vous avez la coupe-couture et toutes ces choses ici. Mais en Angleterre, tu peux expliquer une maman qui est ici, un papa qui est ici, qui est connecté, qui a des enfants, qui se prépare pour faire le GCSE ici en Angleterre, qui n'arrivent pas à aider leurs enfants. Quels sont les sujets qu'on peut choisir pour nos enfants, qu'on peut aider les enfants à choisir pour finir avec le GCSE? Et après, quels sont les sujets qu'ils peuvent choisir pour faire le A-Level qui leur emmène à l'université?
Voilà, merci beaucoup pour la question. Déjà, choisir les sujets dépend de l'habilité de l'enfant. Il y a déjà une habilité naturelle que le Seigneur nous donne. Il y a certaines personnes qui sont très, très brillantes. Ils font ça facilement. Et il y a certaines personnes, ils sont plus du côté pratique. Il y en a d'autres qui sont beaucoup plus du côté manual skills. So, il faut déjà connaître son enfant. Moi, je te donnerai l'exemple. J'ai les enfants qui sont tellement différents. J'ai ma fille qui est trainee lawyer. Elle était dans le grammar school depuis year 7. Elle a fini dans le grammar school. Elle est allée à l'université, law, straight away, finish, master, straight away, working. Et c'est allé facilement. Mais je ne peux peut-être pas encourager cela à mon fils qui est peut-être beaucoup plus les skills qui sont pratiques. Je ne peux pas peut-être encourager ce que lui il a fait à mon autre fils qui aime peut-être jouer au sport plus. Donc, je sais qu'il y a un point, on peut pousser l'enfant à aller très loin, en le poussant dans les sujets. Mais il y a aussi, ne pas oublier, cette habilité de chaque enfant qui est différent.
Mais légalement, je voulais vraiment plus savoir de la... Pardon de vous couper
légalement,
la parole. C'est légalement ici en Angleterre, le système d'éducation, quels sont des genres de sujets qu'on nous oblige d'avoir pour finir avec les GCSE? Et quand tu arrives au niveau de l'institut supérieur, au niveau de A-level, quels sont des genres de sujets que tu dois apprendre aussi par rapport à le système d'éducation? Et après, vous ajoutez bien sûr l'habilité de l'enfant aussi.
Voilà. Donc, pour le GCSE, il est obligatoire de réussir en maths, en anglais et en sciences. C'est obligatoire. Si vous avez les 3 sujets déjà, ticked, réussi, c'est bien. Parce que pour continuer à A-level, certaines écoles disent que vous devez les passer avant qu'on vous laisse aller à A-level. Mais si vous étiez peut-être une personne qui était un enfant qui était vraiment calme ou bien de bon comportement, on peut accepter que vous fassiez hier 12, mais vous allez reprendre toujours les maths et l'anglais. Sans le maths et l'anglais, les sciences, ça va encore, ça dépend de ce que vous faites à l'université. Vous ne serez pas apte d'aller à l'université. Donc, la première des choses dans le GCSE, même si vous choisissez d'autres sujets, faites un effort, encouragez votre enfant à réussir dans les maths et l'anglais.
Obligatoire.
Vous devez le faire parce qu'après, votre enfant sera stack quelque part et il ne pourra pas progresser. Alors, les autres sujets, il y a généralement les catégories qu'on donne. Ça dépend des écoles. Dans certaines écoles, on met catégories, par exemple, obligatoires. Tu dois choisir, par exemple, le français, les DT, par exemple, le dessin dans catégorie A. Dans l'autre catégorie, on vous dit, vous devez choisir les beat export, vous devez choisir la musique ou quelque chose d'autre. Ça dépend des écoles. Mais le plus important, faites un effort que votre enfant passe l'anglais, les maths et les français. Most of the schools as well, they say you need to have at least 4 to 5 GCSE for you to progress. À part le français, l'anglais et les sciences, on vous dit de réussir encore peut-être dans le business, peut-être dans le média, et 2 autres sujets pour vous permettre d'aller dans le A-level. Alors, maintenant, le sujet, il faut toujours avoir la conversation avec l'enfant. Qu'est-ce que lui, il pense? Quel sujet
pour lui-même avancer avec les élèves?
Qu'est-ce qu'il pense faire? S'il pense à faire un sujet à l'université, est-ce que ce sujet qu'il veut faire maintenant va l'aider pour l'université ou ça ne sera pas valide? Donc, il faut déjà penser à toutes ces choses. Regardez les futurs de votre enfant. Qu'est-ce que l'enfant veut faire? Ses aspirations et puis choisir les sujets sur base de ça. Moi, j'ai vu des parents qui encourageaient leur enfant à faire comment on dit, à faire la biologie ou quelque chose comme ça, quand ils ne savaient rien de cela et ils avaient toujours grade 2, grade 1. Mais ils disent, tu dois faire ça, tu dois faire ça. Il faut aussi que nous aidions nos enfants, c'est-à-dire choisissez des sujets où ils sont déjà un petit peu capables de le faire. Vous les poussez d'avancer, mais regarder aussi ses aspirations.
Ouais.
Qu'est-ce qu'il veut faire en tant qu'adulte?
C'est
Et après cela, il va choisir les sujets aussi à A-level. Les sujets qui vont l'aider pour l'université. Vous choisissez à l'enfant, vous dites à l'enfant de faire art, mais lui, il veut devenir un médecin. Ça ne va pas l'aider.
Non.
Ça ne va pas à l'université. On va lui dire, non, on ne peut pas te prendre parce que tu n'as pas eu biologie ou tu n'as pas eu les sciences.
Merci beaucoup.
Very important.
So, we've got people on YouTube. I've got Belbiche, Stella. I've got Glory. I've got Enoch who's got a question. Enoch LUMAKANGILU. What is the difference between Institut supérieur et university au Congo? Merci beaucoup. On a répondu ça, mais je veux vous donner encore. Je veux que tu répondes encore. What is the difference? So he wants to know what is the difference between Institut supérieur and university in Congo. Just hold the answer for him there. I'll bring you the answer.
Voilà.
Luvuezo, Kalumani, God bless you for connecting. So I understand what you said, and I like that because a lot of parents, they don't really guide patients. In the past, parents would push children, but nowadays they simply don't even bother. Now this is
the child who will be doing that.
This is something I've noticed. In the past, our fathers would say, you must become a doctor, you must become a lawyer. But nowadays, they don't even force you to do anything anymore. They don't even know anymore. Parents in the diaspora, because they don't understand the system of education, they simply don't even bother advising their children on what to do. What you said is important. It's good to know your child, and it's good to guide your child, to know what they want to become in the future, and the subject choices need to be guided based on what they want to become. So if somebody wants to become a doctor, must definitely do a biological subject, a science subject, do the maths, do the biology, do the chemistry. There's got to be a science subject. The science subject will guide them. One who wants to do language, you know, if you want to become a teacher, be good in maths and languages. So guide your children accordingly. I remember when I came to this country, I always give this advice. Unfortunately, I don't know where to find this woman anymore. She was somewhere in Holloway. Her name was Sister Mary. I went to do her hair, and I was very, very young. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, I am a hairdresser too. Yeah.
Wow, well done.
One of my skills of a hairdresser.
That's why I say her done.
So I went to do her hair. She was somewhere in Holloway, and I was telling her how I'm new in the country, and I want to become a doctor, and she said, but you knew the education system is hard. You need to study science subjects. She did not know me. She was from Ghana. She told me, choose science subjects. And whatever you do, Rose, study nursing. It will be quicker for you to get your leg into the science field, the medical field. And once you've become a nurse, then you can decide to branch into doing medicine and all that. Well, life got in the way. You know, I grew up. But years later, I did my nursing degree. I did my master's now. I'm towards my PhD. So I did my master's in psychology. And by God's grace, I'm gearing towards my PhD in clinical psychology. Because of one person who asked me what I wanted to become, guided me to choose. So c'est très important de conseiller vos enfants quel genre de sujet ils doivent choisir. Parce que moi, quand je suis venue en Angleterre, parce que on a cette stigma que les Congolais aiment la sape, ils aiment l'ambiance, et j'avais pas trop quelqu'un que je pouvais demander dans notre communauté congolaise qui pouvait m'encourager avec quel genre de sujet je devais prendre à l'université. C'est une Ghanéenne qui m'a conseillé. Tu veux devenir médecin, c'est un peu difficile parce que tu viens d'arriver dans ce pays. Mais si tu veux devenir infirmière, tu vas prendre des sujets de biologie et de mathématiques, finir au collège. Ce sera plus vite pour toi de devenir infirmière parce que ces années-là, ils cherchaient des infirmiers. Et quand tu seras infirmier, tu pourras maintenant savoir comment étudier pour devenir médecin. Et par la grâce de Dieu, j'ai fait mon maîtrise en clinico-psychologie qui va m'aider à devenir, pas un médecin, mais un docteur en psychologie, quelque chose que je veux devenir. Donc, conseillons vraiment bien nos enfants. Okay, I have a question for you. Can you answer that question again, please? What's the difference between Institut supérieur and university, please?
Voilà. Institut supérieur, c'est basé au skill. Hein. Comme on dit...
I think they've asked in English. Can you answer them in English?
All right,
please?
okay.
What's the difference between Institut supérieur?
Right, I'm going to translate this one because it's not here. A superior institute of something.
So higher education.
Higher
Institute of higher education, yeah.
So that higher education is based on skills more. Example, someone that has finished that compulsory secondary school in Congo. They choose to do skills as a fashion designer, as a decoration, as maybe engineering, something like that. They will go to Institut Supérieur because it's a kind of a university there to progress.
Okay.
However, there are some university, like a 5 years course as well of university. Example, instead of going to maybe one engineering school in Congo, and you go into Polytechnic, example, at campus, you do 5 years.
What is campus?
It is a big university in Congo.
So it's a university?
It's a university. Okay. That one is a university. And when they came here, it's true that when they came, they will probably have to do math and English. However, I think the knowledge, the equivalency will be a little bit higher than A-level.
Thank you. So, how can you advise parents connected right now from the diaspora to support their children's learning in the UK? What advice can you give them? How can they support their children's learning in the UK?
Thank you very much for that question. We need to know that the environment we are here is a little bit different than the environment where we come from. Ici, parler avec son enfant, c'est très important. Partager avec son enfant, c'est très important. Donc, I will encourage parents, s'il vous plaît, parlez avec vos enfants, partagez avec eux. Même les causeries de tous les jours, écoutez-le. Très important d'écouter. The background where we come from is normally no way the parent will listen what the child say. Is most of the time they give the ideas you must follow. But here is another environment. What they learn at school, you know, it can be hard for them to follow what we want them to do.
Yeah.
So it's really important to share and to listen them. I know that there is a lot of conflict between the parents and the children here because the way we want them is a communication barrier. They're going up a little bit differently than us, so we need to consider that and have a habit to speak with them and to consider, to value. Like, also valoriser, tu valorises ce qu'ils disent et vous partagez, vous parlez. Pas toujours obligé. Ça dépend. At least it's something like they're doing bad. You say, you have to do that, you have to do that. But if it's about education, please communicate. They know a lot of things, but sometimes they need the parental advice as well.
They need guidance.
They need the guidance.
Yeah.
So a lot of parents regretting. I know a parent, example, in my school, not in my school, but another school I used to work before, the parents, Congolese, they drop easy A-level. Okay, the parent dropped some subjects. They did have, they make him do just one subject A-level because he did have some difficulty. So I know that that child, no one in university will accept him because he has just one A-level. But how to say that to that person, that parent? I found that it was like, if I say to them, it will be like, they won't even listen to me. They won't trust me that no university will take them. But they don't know. They think, yeah, we remove all the subjects. It just go A-level now because it was hard for it. But they don't know, they don't understand. How to tell them? I don't know because I don't want people for them to feel like, oh, you're telling us something, but that's not true. So I leave it until if they want to ask, I will guide them and be wise how to guide them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's important as parents to understand if you're coming from the African background and from Africa, the education system is different. The reason you have parent-teacher meetings so you can have a conversation with the teachers about how the system works. I think one way to support parents to help with the children's learning is encourage parents to talk to the teachers more.
Yeah.
Don't just go and talk to the teacher when your child has been naughty. Have the initiative to go to the school and say, I don't understand what subject my child is studying. I don't, you know, wanting to know information is not a sin. Say, I don't understand. I want to sit down with the head teacher, explain the subjects to me. Because if you make your child drop certain subject and they don't end up having enough points for university, you've set your child up to fail. Also in Africa, it's difficult to diagnose dyslexia. It's difficult to diagnose things like autism. It's very difficult to diagnose learning difficulties in children. They will just say you're stupid, you're slow, and nobody supports you. And many children feel frustrated because no one is supported them. Whereas a learning disability is not a barrier to obtaining good grades and good education. If the teachers know, you know, they will support you, give you more time during exams, give you more after-school lessons. You know, so talking to the teachers about your child can open doors as to what your children is lacking in to support them. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that, of course. First things, normally we have a parent information evening, but most of the parents, they don't come. They do come to the parent evening to give progress of the kids, but they do not come for parent information day. But these days are really informative where the teacher, we do explain what the subject is, how we gonna do that, how to do to get your child to be successful in that subject. We do explain every parent, every data is really important. Si vous avez le temps to go to that parent information day. And the second thing was about, you asked me something, two things, I can't remember the second one. Yeah.
How can you advise parents to support their children's learning? The other one I would ask is if as an older, because you came here as an older person, so what advice would you give to the older generation who are watching us about going back to school?
Yeah, thank you. Everything is possible.
Yes.
I really, really want to encourage people, parents, don't stay and don't be happy where you are. Every person, il y a personne qui a déjà atteint un niveau de satiété dans sa vie.
Like that, un niveau de satiété.
Carry on until
day.
we are not there in this world.
Yes.
We can carry on learning as long as we live.
Yes.
So even me, as a teacher, I still learn. Every day I do learn. And then the other things like make sure you have a clear objective for your life. You have a clear things like what you want to do. And how you can reach your aim of your life. You need to have that. I always encourage people like not to just like live day by day. And I see that a lot to people. They wake up in the morning, the Lord is protecting us, we know. However, whilst the Lord is protecting us, we need to have idea what we want to do and then work toward it. We can't stop and be like, okay, it's done. My life is like when I wake up in the morning, I would know what to have a plan of your life and then go back. Study is important. Everybody can't do everything. Example, if you are happy to carry on your life of supporting or maybe supporting people, go to college, go have a class for supporting. Your salary will go higher a little bit because you studied and you're becoming a little bit master of it, even it's not like a school education qualification. However, it's something you did. You train yourself. Here we see how the doctor, they do train themselves all the time. Nurses, they do train themselves all the time. Teachers, if you're in a professional place, there is a training. Even those who do cleaning in an institution, they have to do some trainings. It's because they know this country or the real well-developed country understood the importance of being refreshed, of learning. So because we are here, this integration, it means like we need to take that positive things we have. We need to learn. What you do, learn it. Want to improve it. Do it better than the one you know is really, really important.
Thank you. God bless you. Sister Dorcas Tabita, long time. Marcelina Ramires, Sister Gracia Queseca, Brother Glory, if you connect, God bless you. My dearest show up, Sister Mafuta and Zoe Deli. God bless you for connecting. Maman Nadine Diozeye, Prophet Baïs, Apostle Simon. God bless you for connecting. I'm a great believer in giving back to the community. I'm a great believer in what I learn, I need to give it to somebody else and impart on the knowledge. In the Bible, we see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego who went in a foreign country and they learned. And we see Joseph, who was in a foreign country, he learned there and he became a governor there. But it was all for the benefit that came back to his own people, because he was able to manage a whole famine era that benefited his father and his brothers. So whatsoever we learn in the diaspora, in these European countries, it's not in vain if you encourage your child to learn, because we remember our roots. Whatever you gain here, you can use back home to support the country. So je veux dire ça vraiment en français. Il faut vraiment prendre le temps de s'éduquer, de s'informer. Parce que tout ce qu'on apprend ici, ça va toutefois bénéficier aussi nos pays, au Congo, en Afrique. Parce que je vois Daniel et Shadrach, Meshach, ils étaient des étrangers dans un pays étranger, mais ce qu'ils ont appris à aider aussi les enfants d'Israël. Je vois les gens comme Joseph qui était à l'étranger, mais ce qu'il a appris par l'aide de Dieu, bien sûr, il était devenu gouverneur dans un pays étranger, mais qui a pu bénéficier aussi son pays. Alors, comme Kofi Annan, il avait dit que l'éducation, c'est la base du progrès d'un pays, d'une nation, d'une famille. Quand nous apprenons bien, ça sera toujours bénéficiant pour nous et nos entourages et nos pays. Et je voulais dire, comme Madame Mimi venait de dire, que quand nous apprenons, ça peut nous aider. Même si tu es venu en Europe un peu mature, il n'est jamais trop tard. Prends le temps d'apprendre, de t'informer. Il ne faut pas être content et satisfait là où tu es, parce qu'on apprend chaque jour. On apprend progressivement, continuellement, jusqu'à ce que Dieu viendra te chercher. On apprend tous les jours. Alors, ne soyez pas complaisants que je suis arrivé et c'est fini pour moi. Non, on apprend tous les jours. Alors, ayons l'habitude d'apprendre. Et aussi, une chose que j'avais dit avant, les enfants qui sont dans les écoles ici, qui viennent dans un pays étranger, s'ils souffrent de dyslexie, et c'est un peu difficile pour eux pour apprendre. Alors, en tant que parents, ayez le temps d'aller à l'école, prenez les rendez-vous avec les professeurs de vos enfants pour s'informer quel est le progrès de vos enfants. Peut-être que l'enfant ne travaille pas bien par rapport au sujet choisi, mais aussi peut-être par rapport à les difficultés qu'ils ont. Avoir le dyslexie n'est pas une barrière de l'éducation, parce qu'ici en Europe, on peut aider. Vous connaissez le PDG de Virgin, il s'appelle comme Alan Sugar. Lui, il est dyslexique, mais il est millionnaire. Donc, ce n'est pas une barrière. On peut encore devenir ce qu'on peut devenir avec l'aide qui est dans notre entourage. Une autre question avant que nous finissons ce soir. Est-ce que... quels sont des défis que nous avons en tant que les étrangers, les asylum seekers, les demandeurs d'asile, à propos de l'éducation ici en Angleterre? What are the difficulties and challenges that asylum seekers and foreigners face that you would say, in your opinion, in terms of integrating in the education system or even in the job sector in the UK? That will be my final question for you today.
No problem at all. Je commence en français. Les premiers défis que les asylum seekers, les gens qui viennent intégrer peuvent avoir, c'est les problèmes des équivalencies de leurs études déjà. Ça, c'est un problème parce que si quelqu'un a étudié peut-être 10 ans ou 7 ans au Congo et vient ici et doit
reprendre
encore tout, ça pèse, hein, c'est difficile.
pèse, ouais.
Pour étudier, recommencer, à dormir tard, à travailler, à faire les assignments, ce n'est pas facile. Ça, c'est le premier challenge. Alors, il faut vraiment être ambitieux et courageux pour reprendre ce chemin et le faire. Ce n'est pas facile. Je le sais, ce n'est pas facile, mais ce n'est pas impossible. La deuxième chose qui peut être vraiment un défi, c'est les problèmes de l'université d'être acceptée. Parce que pour les conditions, les requirements des universités, ce n'est pas aussi facile. Parce que même si vous envoyez vos documents à NARIC, ils vous donnent l'équivalent, mais on vous oblige de faire l'anglais, on vous oblige de faire les maths. Peut-être vous avez fait les maths, c'était frais quand vous étiez jeune.
Ouais.
Après,
Not
à
my best friend, nurse is not my best friend,
ouais,
no.
voilà, vous devez faire encore ce GCSE des maths. Le cerveau n'est plus assez rapide comme c'était avant. Des fois, parfois, ce n'est pas question d'intelligence, mais question de la rapidité du cerveau. À cet âge-là, c'était rapide, mais maintenant, ce n'est peut-être pas le cas. C'est difficile, c'est un challenge, c'est un défi. Troisième défi qu'on a, c'est que beaucoup des asylum seekers ou les réfugiés qui viennent, ils ont déjà des familles. Ça demande une finance stable aussi quand même si l'État ici s'organise à soutenir ceux qui étudient avec les student finance ou quelque chose comme ça. Mais ça demande quand même que l'organisation se fasse pour les enfants. Il faut bien réfléchir avant de retourner à l'école.
Ouais.
Peut-être c'est un partenaire, la personne est un single parent aussi. Ce n'est pas facile, c'est un défi. Il y a beaucoup de défis. Il y a beaucoup de défis. Mais moi, je connais les gens qui ont, par la grâce de Dieu, allé au défi de leurs problèmes. Je vais donner l'exemple de Myriam, qui était une femme très ambitieuse. Ils ont eu un problème. Son frère, c'était Moïse. On devait tuer tous les enfants nouveau-nés par Pharaon. Qu'est-ce qu'ils devaient faire? Jochebed ne savait pas. Ils ont gardé l'enfant, mais ils devaient le déposer quelque part parce qu'ils n'avaient pas de choix. Sinon, l'enfant sera tué. Mais qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait? Ils ont décidé. La jeune fille, Myriam, la sœur de Moïse, on a décidé de mettre l'enfant à côté du fleuve. Et chaque jour, Myriam, l'ambitieuse, sa sœur, venait là pour regarder son enfant et son frère. Il regardait. Mais regardez, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Dieu, dans ces challenges-là, et abandonner un enfant, ce n'est pas facile. Hein? Jochebed souffrait, sa maman, la maman de Moïse. Mais Myriam était là. Et Dieu a organisé les choses dans ces défis-là, d'envoyer la fille de Pharaon qui s'est baignée là à côté et qui a vu cet enfant qu'il a aimé. Alors Myriam est venue rapidement pour dire que, oh, si vous cherchez nourrice, j'ai ma maman qui va s'occuper de cet enfant. Et la destinée qui a été volée par les circonstances de la vie, cette destinée est rentrée par cette fille ambitieuse, Myriam. Et Myriam a amené sa maman qui a gardé Moïse. Moïse, donc, la maman de Moïse, Jochebed, a commencé à être payée pour son enfant. Et les gens ne savaient pas que c'est son enfant. Commençait à être payée. Et elle a récupéré la destinée de son enfant et gardé son enfant. Et après, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Le Seigneur a fait de grandes choses à travers cette famille parce qu'il y avait des ambitieux. Et si on parle d'Exode aujourd'hui, on parle de Myriam, on parle d'Aaron, on parle de Moïse, on parle de Jochebed. C'est une seule famille qui a fait les livres d'Exode. Tu t'imagines, la destinée volée. On a pris l'enfant, jeté l'enfant. Mais la destinée est rentrée avec une jeune fille ambitieuse. Donc, même si vous êtes désespéré, soyez ambitieux. Dieu n'était contredit pas d'être ambitieux, d'essayer. Dieu aime les gens qui essayent. Dieu aime les gens qui se donnent, qui veulent faire. Et Dieu va mettre sa main. Ce n'est pas facile, beaucoup de choses, mais ce n'est pas impossible. J'encourage quelqu'un ce soir. Ne sois pas découragé. Ne dis pas que oh, c'est fini, là, je ne peux plus le faire. Non, Dieu va retrouver, reprendre, remettre ta destinée qui a été peut-être volée. Et tu peux le faire. Dis à Dieu, je ne peux pas le faire, mais j'ai besoin de ta grâce. Parce que étudier, on a vu des gens intelligents qui ont étudié, qui ont fait des PhD, mais après, à Silici, oh, sorry, je parle lingala, il est devenu fou. Donc, n'oublions pas aussi la grâce de Dieu doit être dans cela, dans ce que tu fais. Ce n'est pas seulement étudier aussi, demande aussi la grâce de Dieu de t'accompagner partout où tu vas. Très, très important. Ta destinée peut rentrer, mon bien-aimé. Mon frère ou ma sœur, je les parle comme ça, mais ne sois pas découragé. Ce n'est pas impossible.
I like that. It's difficult. It may be difficult. Integration may be difficult, but definitely not impossible.
Not at all. Thank you.
It may be difficult, but not impossible. Integration is very possible. I want to add another more challenge before we finish that can stop foreigners or asylum seekers from integrating into the educational job system. One thing that we all tend to do, I think I did it too, and sometimes I regret it, not in a negative way. We tend to flock together with the people we know best. It's good to stick to the people from your country, but it is as a negative knock-on effect in the lack of progress. My beloveds, connected tonight, I'm not asking you to refuse talking to your fellow Congolese, Angolans, Nigerians, wherever they are, from your culture. But I'm asking you, if you get into a foreign country, the best way to learn and integrate is to connect with the people of that country.
Exactly.
Speak me, you. Eu, meu, você, você. But talk to the people of that country. If you go to Angola, Congolese people don't speak good Portuguese because they stuck to the Congolese people. They don't learn Portuguese, they speak Lingala. If you come to Europe, you know, I grew up mostly in an English-speaking country, and then I came to Europe, again, in an English-speaking country. So Lingala wasn't always my language, but I can tell you my Lingala became better in London. Because when I got to London, I then stuck with lots of Congolese people. Good, that's fine, I love my people. But the thing is, then my Lingala it improved. That's good. English is language is a skill, but then it stops you learning other ways of integrating properly because you will only know what you know. So if you meet a Congolese person who only knows, excuse me, this is a learning platform. If they only know how to do cleaning, they will only teach you how to do cleaning because that's what they know. If you meet a Congolese person who knows how to dress well, they will only teach you how to dress well. So it's important to mingle with the people of the country so you learn about the culture that you are integrating into, you learn about the subject, you learn about the job prospects, you learn about the country. Mingle. Don't stick with your own people all the time. Learn about the country. Try and talk to people from other cultures. It will help you very much. So after I went to university, I tried to mingle with people from the country in the UK. And I tell you, one person that inspired me to buy a house was from Nigeria. Because you get to the country, everybody's telling you, get a council house, get a council house. It's okay to get a council house. But let me tell you something. Until I went to university, I did not understand being on benefits was a negative thing. Because everybody was fighting, I'm on the register for a council house. And I thought, it's okay, it's good. I need to file for a council house. It's okay if you're earning less salary. A council house will help you pay less rent because it's cheaper. But why don't you want to work and buy a house? Why don't you want to work? And because everywhere you went, that's the mentality. So it stops you believing the same way the people in that culture believes in. So it's okay to own a council house, but aspire more than buy it in the future. But don't stop there, because when I came, people were fighting to get into benefit system instead of fighting to get educated and get higher paid jobs. So let's learn the positive parts of the cultures we come into. So the challenges people face is because we put barriers. We want to stick to the same people. I branched out a little bit. And by God's grace, because of my branching out, a Nigerian taught me, Rose, if you get an idea, jot it down. And then with prayer, I took the advice. Every idea that came to my mind, I jotted it down. And one day in 2016, God told me to start doing quiet time videos. And then I spoke to Apostle Lou Joseph, who was not Congolese, he's an Angolan. He was an apostle from the Netherlands. And he said to me, but that's your calling there, right there. You could be writing books. So write down every quiet time you make.
What I did.
And God inspired me to teach the people this. So I wrote this book. It's a quiet time book. It's on Amazon, £15. But I can tell you, it was not just the grace of God. Yes, the grace of God. Yes, prayer. Yes, my own, motivation and ambition. But also advice and encouragement from the Miriams around me. People who are ambitious, they guided me, they supported me, and this book has come together. So get this book. If you don't like praying, or you find it difficult to read the Bible or have own prayer quiet time, this book will help you because it's got chapters in there that you read, and at the end of the chapter, there is prayer points. There are prayer points to help you pray as well. So it's on Amazon, £15, Quiet Time with Pastor Rose Bijoux Ramires. But I can tell you, the motivation I got from integration helped me even get to the level of writing this book. And as a tip of the iceberg, let me talk about me a little bit. We'll be closing now. I did my master's in psychology, and the research I did was into women. And the university loved it so much because I got a distinction, and it is out in a book. So I have my whole chapter in a book that will be read by university students on sexology, because as part of my research, I did a gynae research. One of these days, I'm going to come and I'm going to talk to you about that book. So it's maybe difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. You can break barriers and change the narrative. Final word, advice for people connected today. What advice can you give them as to how to integrate and break barriers, just as an ending of today?
Thank you very much for this question. I acknowledge that not everyone is able to write books. Not everyone is maybe able to be a teacher, but everyone is able to excel in some way, in what ability the Lord has given to them.
Yes.
I myself go books in Amazon as well. By the grace of the Lord, I know.
Come back, let's talk about your books when you come. Yeah.
That's fine. You come back another. But just to say, like, whatever the Lord has put you, where the Lord has put you, the skills that the Lord has given you, just say, I want to excel, I want to do more, I want to do better than where I am. That's the most important, a good attitude. I want to be successful, okay? Because you may not be able to do books like Star Wars here, can't do that, however, excel where you are. Say to God, God, I need your help to be better and to be educated and integrated the way you want me to be. And I bless all people who follow us tonight. Yeah. And by the grace of God, it's the first time, maybe no be the last one.
We're not ending. There's a question. We need to answer a few questions here. God bless you, Pastor Dode. To Didi, Julio, God bless you. Sister Mafuta and Zoe, my show upper, God bless you. Our sister Dorcas has just written that Mass is not her best friend. Thank you for being so open and honest about this. She said she tried Maths 3 times and passed it on the 4th time before making it to university. She said, fantastic. Maths isn't my best friend. So there's a determined woman. Yeah. It's difficult, but not impossible. So she did Maths and passed it the 4th time and made it to university. Sister Dorcas, thank you for your testimony. Definitely perseverance is good. It will help you progress in life. Yeah. And she said, you know, she learned English fast by being in the community of people who are English speakers. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. There's a question or a comment here from Julio on YouTube. He says, most of our children go to university far from where they live with their parents. What are your thoughts on that? Do you mean they don't want to be close to their parents? Yeah. I think maybe they really don't want to be influenced by their parents too much. Maybe they want to have that independence. Sometimes independence can be good because it gives them a legging to be independent, to learn better without too much influence from parents. But sometimes I think being too far from parents as well, you can lack the guidance that you need, because a lack of language isn't necessarily a lack of guidance. Our parents have got more knowledge and information available to them for them to give to us. So just because they can't speak French or English well, it doesn't mean that they don't have the knowledge and experience to guide you. So what are your thoughts? Why do kids want to be universities far from their homes? What do you think?
It's true that, age speaking, about that age, every child, when they find that kind of freedom to go to university, they want to carry on with that one. But from our background and our culture, we want our children to stay until a certain age, or maybe until they get married or independent to go. So it's a conversation, what you think and what they think. Share together and say what you like them to do and why you like that. And then if you want them to come back home after university, they may be reluctant a little bit. Maybe they used to that independency. Maybe they find going to work from where they used to be is a little bit easier. So it may be, and the society as well, you know, the environment where they live, they find that all the children, when they go to university here, and then after they become a little bit independent. So it made them like think like, we are children from here, we will be like that. We will always have that challenge with them. It's not the way we think. So everything is just like have that conversation, and then this child may explain you why they want to stay there, and they have that open conversation. No obligate them, because they can say no, and then the relationship become a little bit a problem. So you need just to speak to them, share with them that I think maybe do that balance. Maybe you can, you know, it's sharing really. It's true, it's a problem, especially for us African parents. You think that after uni, come back home. Why you have to stay there? But they want to stay there. Have that conversation and think why you think it's right for them to come back. And then they will probably explain you things, but don't be angry to them to say like, oh, you don't want to listen, my dear. But share is really important.
You're watching Talk to Me. Vraiment, c'était un grand plaisir de vous avoir ici. On était bilingue ce soir. Pour finir, je voulais dire merci à tout le monde qui nous a suivis. Partagez surtout la vidéo, parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'informations qu'on a données ce soir. Peut-être que c'est un peu trop pour mâcher, pour comprendre, mais non, mais quand vous allez regarder la vidéo après, ça vous donnera l'envie de suivre et de comprendre ce qu'on venait de dire. Pour dire que quand vous venez dans un pays, l'intégration demande l'ambition, ça demande le courage, ça demande la patience. On ne peut pas apprendre tout à la fois, mais c'est progressivement. Ça peut être difficile, mais c'est définitivement pas impossible de s'intégrer et d'apprendre. Essayons, quand nous venons dans un pays, d'avoir la relation avec les gens de ce pays. Intégrons-nous avec la langue. C'est bien que nous voulons rester avec nos propres gens, les Congolais, les Angolais, mais essayons un peu de s'adapter avec la communauté d'ici, les Blancs, les professeurs à l'école là où vous travaillez. Parlez en anglais à la langue de ce pays-là, là où vous êtes, pour mieux apprendre. Si vous mangez du chikwang et du tabac, essayez un peu de manger des chicken and chips, essayez un peu de vous intégrer, même avec la nourriture. C'est comme ça qu'on peut apprendre et avancer. Et souvent, quand nous travaillons, on nous évite, allons après le boulot pour prendre un peu à boire. On dit non, moi je suis de l'église. Tu peux aller prendre à boire sans pourtant prendre de l'alcool si l'alcool n'est pas ce que tu aimes faire. Mais aller dans le groupe avec le boulot, ça nous aidera avec l'intégration pour connaître mieux la société là où nous sommes. Ne soyons pas trop sévères avec nos enfants. Écoutons nos enfants plus. Avec les choix de sujets, ne soyons pas trop sévères. Nous sommes dans les pays de l'Europe qui sont très, très différents avec nos pays de l'Afrique. Le système est différent, l'éducation est un peu différente. Essayons d'écouter nos enfants, parler avec nos enfants, écoutez-leur, quels sont leurs choix. Assistons-le, mais ne posons pas nos idées à nos enfants, mais plutôt conseillons de nos enfants pour leur aider de faire de bons choix. You're watching Talk to Me, so on this note, we're about to finish. I want to encourage you. Integration may be difficult, but it's not impossible. So learn to mingle with the culture you're in. Learn to love the culture you're in. Take the good things, okay? Take the good things. I think we are worried about changing who we are. I love this. Those who watch me, they know I love this. Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron. If you have something good to give, give it. If you have someone that knows something good, cling on to them. Have the habit of connecting with people that will add a little bit more to your life. This is Talk to Me. We learn new things every day. Lack of knowledge will make you perish. So be with people that will make you learn more. And it's not a sin to want to learn. So until next time, I want you to know that I am here. If you've got something worth sharing, come on this platform in Heaven Above Studio with Brother Jean-Michel here, the beautiful, colorful studio. Bring your topic. Let's share the knowledge. Let's impact our culture. Whatsoever you learn in diaspora will definitely be used back home. So you are not learning in vain. Get in the habit of learning. And if you have no place of prayer, I am Pastor Rose Bijoux Ramires. As much as being a writer and nurse and upcoming psychologist, a singer, the list is endless, but I'm not done yet. Until Jesus takes me, I'm not done yet. We have a church in Enfield Town. The church is Empowerment Ministry of Christ Church. This is where I lead as a pastor. If you have no place of prayer or you want to visit us, we invite you every Sunday. We are there from 4:30 to 6:30. You are more than welcome to join us. And we have quiet time every morning, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. on my pages. Please connect and pray, and the Lord will surely bless you. Until next time, those of you that want to learn, may the Lord grant you the desire, the courage, the ambition to learn and integrate.
I just quickly want to thank everybody who were connected tonight, and especially my husband who always encouraged me.
Please, your husband.
So I really want to thank you as well, encouraging me to go for. He was the one encouraging me, go, they invite you, go there, you know. He always encouraged me, push me to go for the, bless all the people that I know there. You say their names. So we bless the Lord for this, and I hope that this will be blessing a lot of people. Any question, you can call this number here, and then they will be call us, and then we will answer that. And I bless the Lord for this time.
Mafuta and Zoe, God bless you for all your comments. May God empower and bless you all. Don't forget to like and share this video. I will bring you more topics next month. We have 2 more Talk to Me sessions. We will be bringing Mrs. LUMAKANGILU again to talk about her books. She's also a singer. You'll be watching a song in a jiffy. Until next time, be encouraged, be uplifted, and be blessed. You're watching Talk to Me. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Seigneur.
Je veux suivre Jésus, partout où j'irai. Je veux suivre Jésus, peu importe le combat. Je veux suivre Jésus, dans toutes les circonstances. Les gens peuvent dire ce qu'ils veulent, moi je veux avancer. Jésus me conduira, et la victoire est certaine. Les gens peuvent dire ce qu'ils veulent, moi je veux avancer. Jésus me conduira, et la victoire est certaine. Je veux suivre Jésus, partout où j'irai. Je veux suivre Jésus, peu importe le combat. Je veux suivre Jésus, dans toutes les circonstances. Zachion péché par la foule, ne pouvait voir Jésus. Il a persévéré et la victoire l'a suivi. Zachion péché par la foule, ne pouvait voir Jésus. Il a persévéré et la victoire l'a suivi. Les gens peuvent dire ce qu'ils veulent, toi tu vas avancer. Jésus te conduira et la victoire est certaine. Les gens peuvent dire ce qu'ils veulent, toi tu vas avancer. Jésus te conduira et la victoire est certaine.
tu souffles